Hi everyone. Hello. Hi everyone. Hope everyone is fine. I'm well too, and I'm very sorry and I apologize for not taking sessions. I had some personal problems, so sorry guys. So today we'll be talking about lists. Previously we talked about strings, right? And today we'll be talking about list. What is a list? A list is a data structure. For now we can consider this as a data type, but it is a data structure that is changeable, that has some features called that is mutability, that is changeable, and it is ordered. The lists are stored in ordered, or all the elements in the list are stored in ordered, and each element or value that is inside of a list is known as an item. Like we define strings within single quotes or double quotes. So likewise in list, we define list or we declare a list using the square brackets. So now let's jump into the code. The first two lines states I have created a variable called a, which has this empty square bracket. There is no value within this empty square bracket. It means that this is a list and that is an empty list. Now if we try to print the type of a, we can see that this will be a list class of list. Okay, now like we did indexing in strings, like so we can do indexing in list also. But before that, we like to see the nature of list. Let's create a list called B, and B, this list will hold some values: a name, an age, a decimal value. So will it work? This is the feature of list, that it can contain multiple values of multiple data types. So now if I try to print the content of this list called B, so I have to use this statement print B. And if run the program, you can see this has given us the output which we gave as the input. And this square bracket, this signifies that this is a list. I hope I am clear. As we can do indexing in strings, indexing means picking up a particular item from a list by specifying the index or the position. So likewise, this is also possible in the list. Let us create a my list which has some content called 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I am trying to print the content of this my list at the position 0. And at the position 0 is the value 1. So I will get the output as 1. We got the output as 1. Likewise, it is also possible that we can give negative indexing. We can use negative indexing. So this way works exactly the same as strings, but yes, it differs in a lot of ways from strings. But for now, let us see what is the output of this. And I hope everybody guessed it, 1 and 4. Fourth is the last value. Why? Because this is the index from the right hand side. -1 is the index. Likewise, as it is possible for indexing, likewise it is also possible for slicing as well. The same list, my list. Now, can we figure out the answer? I need the content of my list. The first value is optional and I am not given it. So it has a default value and it starts from 0 index. So it will go from 0 till 1. It will not exclude the upper limit. So it will essentially give us the output 0 and 1, 1 and 2, right? I have a bad habit of saying right, and sometimes sometimes what happens is that I forget things. So 1 and 2, right? Likewise, we can also use negative indexing. So I need the content of my list starting from index 1 till index minus 2. So index 1 is this one because we are taking it from the left hand side, and the index minus 2 is this one, minus 2. So what would be the output? Would it be only 2 or 2 and 3? The output is 2. But in all the cases, you must see that all the output we are getting is enclosed within the square bracket. We can modify a list. Modifying a list, I created a list called my list that consists of two values, Mumbai and Patna, and I am trying to put the value of Kanpur in place at this index position 0. I need not give this one. The original content was Mumbai and Patna, but after this statement, what it did was it replaced Mumbai, that was at the index position 0, with the value we supplied, Kanpur. This is also possible with negative indexing as well. Is it too large? Okay, this is fine. Now, this is also possible in case of negative indexing. Now, the same list, my list, Mumbai and Patna. Now, I am trying to replace the value of Patna, that is at index position -1, because we are starting from the right hand side and we are replacing Patna with Raipur. Now, if we try to print the content, so we'll get Mumbai and Raipur. Mumbai and Raipur. We can also use this arithmetic operator and this multiplication operator on the list. And let us see how. We have created two lists. The first is student list, which has some names, and the other one is marks list. These are all lists because these are all enclosed within square brackets. Now I want to have a combination of this list. I need to concatenate, add these two lists. So the simple way is by using this plus operator, arithmetic operator. And I am storing this content in a new list called combined list. So if we try to print the content of this combined list, we got Amit, Rohit, Snigdha and Harshit is there in the first list, student list, and marks list we got 40, 70, 30 and 90. So in this way we can add to a more list or concatenate to a more list. The same way we can use this multiplication operator. This marks list 40, there are four elements, 4 items, isn't it? So I am trying to use this multiplication operator and multiplying this list called mark list with 3. So if we see the output, (40, 70, 30, 90), this first group, second group and third group. So it has essentially multiplied this list 3 times. Deleting an item, not the list. And by item we mean the element within the list. So the combined list is this one, student list plus marks list, right? And I want to delete the item at index position 0. So first let us print this combined list again so that okay. The first list, combined list, was Amit, Rohit. These all things, all items. Now, at this index position 0 was Amit, isn't it? So I deleted this combined list, the item at the index position 0. So, and then when we printed the content of this combined list using this print function, we got this output. So I hope I am clear, guys. we can also delete the entire list as well. In that case, we need not supply the square bracket because we are not trying to delete an item, but we are trying to delete the entire list. So after this statement, when Python interprets this statement and compiles it, and when it comes to this, it will try to give us an error. So yes, the error was here. I am trying to print the combined list which actually I deleted. So there is no combined list in memory. As we saw earlier, list is a class, like string is a class. So because it is a class, so all these variables which we are trying to, I am calling this a variable, are not variables, but they are objects of class list. So when we talk about classes, we talk about objects also. So on objects, we can invoke methods, or we can call methods. Methods are just functions, but methods are within classes, but they are normally functions. So now let us yes, I have created this empty list. When you print the content, this will give us 0 because there is no item. Append is a method. Append is a method which can be only invoked on a list object. And I am trying to append a value of 2 in this list. Append always adds something at the end. And when we'll print the content of this list, now what we'll get? Let us see. 0, the first 0 because there was no item. As soon as we appended a value 2, and now we are trying to print the length of this list M, we got 1. We can also provide multiple values within the same append method, but those values should be enclosed within square brackets. The values can be anything. They can be integers, they can be strings, they can be real numbers, but they have to enclose within this square bracket. And now if I try to print the length of this M and also print M. So see, empty list 2 got appended. Now I am appending this list 3 and 4, right? 3 and 4, it got appended here. Had it been suppose only 3, so 2 and 3. So that there are two options, either you can supply one value or multiple values enclosed within the square brackets. I hope you have understood this. So again, we'll quickly go through this. I'll not explain. I'm trying to append multiple values, and it did. Worked fine. Oh. There's also a different method called extend. It also does similar things but in a very different way. Extend, the name of the method is extend. So let us see this with an example. Extend is example equal to this list which has one item called horizontal. Now I am extending this list called extend example and providing vertical area and perimeter. Now if we try to check the length of this extend example and then print the extend example, it will do similar things, but there is a slight difference. You can see there were no square brackets here like it was in the case of this one. Okay, now this first one, and I'll try to okay, the first one was this empty list. I appended multiple values, multiple items, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items using this append method. And but when we are trying to print the content, the length of this list, it's giving just 1. And I have also got these square brackets here. So there's a difference, isn't it? Now coming to this example. Horizontal, when we use this extend method, it added this vertical area and perimeter, and the length is now 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is very subtle difference. I'll say subtle. It is a very subtle difference and you should know. I'm taking a lot of time commenting and uncommenting. I know that. Now let's again take another example quickly. A equal to 1, there's only one item in this list. What would you think this means? Length of A is 1 because there's only one item. So I'm using the slice notation. I'm trying to put some value from one. The other parameter is optional. If I don't give it, if we don't provide it, it means till the entire length. So what it will do is that it will add this list A and all these items will be added within this list. So let us see. 1, 2, 3, 4. It exactly does the same thing like the extend method. It exactly does the same thing. What I mean to say, if I say it properly, the extend method is implemented in the same way, to be precise. Oh, sorry. So should we now do something more? Insert method. a equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, a normal well example. A dot insert. Insert is a method that is invoked on an object of type list. The first parameter is the index where I want to insert the value. Suppose I give a value of 1, the first index, and the second parameter is the object which I want to insert. So I need to insert 5. And now if I print the content of A, where will this 5 be inserted? Before 1 or after 1? See, can you figure it out how, what it happened? Suppose again I give a value of 2 or 0, suppose. It inserts the value at the provided index and shift the contents. Am I clear? My screen is not clear so much. It's blurry. Okay. A dot remove. Remove is also a method invoked on an object of type list, and it will take an object, right? So according to the documentation, it removes the first item from the list whose value is equal to x, so that there are these values in the list, right? I want to remove 2, and if I print A or the content of the list, it removed the value 2 from this list. I hope this example is clear, guys. Remove is a method that takes an object, and if the object is found, so it will remove it. Suppose I give -2 here, and -2 is not present here, right? It is not here in the list. So what will happen in that case? It did not found the value -2, and that is why it gave us a value error. List.remove x, x is not in the list. The pop method. Every one of you must be aware of this pop method. So B equal to Amit, comma Sahil, comma 23, comma 45.67. Because B is a list, so I can invoke this method called pop, and I am printing the content of this list B. The pop will pop out the value, Amit Sahil 23 and 45.67 was the initial content of the list, and after this pop method, it popped out the value the last value. When we stay in a queue, uh, I hope you can understand, stacks and queues, right? We can also provide an index. For example, 1. Print B. Amit Sahil 23 to 45.67, and I gave the index value 1. 1 is this one, Sahil. So it popped out from the list. It got removed from the list. There's also a method called clear. That is essentially the same like the del statement. It clears or it removes all the items from the list, and it is equivalent to this del. So suppose a equal to 1, a equal to 1 again, 3. It's very chilly here, and I'm not very comfortable with my fingers. Four was there, but when we cleared this one, and now I'm trying to print the content, it cleared the list, and it worked the same as the del statement on an item, not on the list, on the item itself, not on the list. It does not deletes or clears the list, it only clears the items, right guys? Now let us come to some other problems. Suppose I create this a comma b comma c comma a comma b comma a. Print mname dot count. Count is a method which takes an object and it will give us a integer. It will return us an integer. I want to count the number of times a occurs. Count a. It occurs 3 times. First, second and third times, right? If I try to count the number of occurrences of C, it will give us 1, isn't it? So now comment it. Coming to the next. Sort is a method again invoked on a list. There are parameters that can be passed, but let us now see what is the output of this program. First of all, we'll print the content of the list. Okay. I don't know why I am not getting the desired result. Rahul, Shweta, Amit, Ujjwal, reverse equal to false. It should have worked. It should have worked. Okay, okay. I'll see to this problem before finishing this. And okay. This is again a reverse is a method that is invoked on the list. It will reverse the content of the list. Oh gosh. Am I trying to run a different program? Okay. I don't know guys, but this works. And before finishing, let me sort out this problem. Stay with me. Okay. This always happens when we do a live session, and it should ideally not have given me this error, not this error, this output, and I am not really able to figure it out right now. What is the problem? Can anyone, give a picture? I'm waiting. I am waiting for your inboxes, guys. I am waiting for your inboxes. Okay, let me create another file, test.py.